All right. We just set up the camera for the full self-driving. Just making sure it's accurate. Excellent. We're just leaving New Jersey. Had to go to PetSmart to go get a piece of aquarium furniture. All right, I'm going to focus on this drive. Try not to talk too much. I didn't know exactly where I was going when I came here. And the car got me here exactly where I needed to be. So I pulled over, I set up the camera. Let's get on this service road right here and see which way we're supposed to go. All right, I just engaged the full self-driving. All right, we're coming up here. 1 block away, we're making a right-hand turn. Should see the blinker comes on by itself. And it merged into the lane, no problem. Right lane must turn right. Let's see if the Tesla does it. All right, even though we're at a red light, oh, it turned green. It was about to go do it. It came to a full stop and then it started to creep forward. So that's awesome. Let's see, we got 0.2 miles. And then we're making a right-hand turn on Pierreport Avenue. Going to State Highway 17. So we have 27 minutes. And it says that we'll be arriving at home with 54% battery. All right. Now the reason why we were not in the right lane is because that was a bike lane. So so we made that turn a little wide. But that's just what you're supposed to do. All right, we have another right-hand turn over here, and then we're going to get onto State Highway 17. All right, we just got to a stop sign. Now, just in case anybody's watching, I haven't touched the gas or the brake this entire time. And my hands are on the wheel, but as you can see, the car is making the decisions. It just made that lane change, and we are on our way. Upcoming lane change. I love this when it does it all on its own. It's nice when it asks me, but at that point, I'm driving. The high beams come on whenever you're in a dark lit area. You can see that right here. All right, we're gonna go towards New York to the left. Speed limit just changed from 50 to 40. All right, you guys see how it's taking this turn? Pretty smooth, right in the middle of the lane. Now we're gonna have to go into our left lane. All right. Says in a half a mile we're getting off at the New Jersey Turnpike. Looks like it's an exit to the right, but not this next exit, the one right after. All right, so it has me in the correct lane. It says New Turnpike, exit only this lane. I mean, it does a fantastic job, the Tesla, whenever we go on a long drive. It's the short drives that kind of trip it up. Let's go around the block. I'll show you full self-driving. It doesn't really perform so well like that, go figure. All right. We're in a 55, but it slowed down to a max 35, probably because of the turn, now down to 25. Let's see, is it going to pick back up speed? It really should. All right, we're going a little slow. I'm just going to give it some power. I think that we're actually in a 25 because of the easy pass. So I'm just giving it a little power and it's following the rules. It's actually changing to 15 miles per hour here. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to do that. But if I let my foot off the pedal, let's see how this goes. All right. Well, the Tesla just went through the easy pass, slowed down to 9 miles an hour, and that was successful. Now let's see, we're going over to the GW bridge. Come on, baby. One more lane. Awesome. All right, when are we going to come out at 25 miles an hour? We just got out of the toll area. I'll give it a little power. Now, when I give it the power, the blue line is still there. We're still in full self-driving. I can't turn this wheel without turning off full self-driving. So if I touch the brake, full self-driving turns off. If I turn the pedal, I power through whatever situation the car is questioning. Every once in a while, the car's asking me to put slight pressure on the wheel. It wants to make sure that it knows my hands are there. All right, the speed limit just changed to 55 as we got to the actual highway entrance. So these are things that I've mentioned before. Tesla's going to have to make sure that all the highways are marked with the correct signs for his full self-driving to become efficient. Maybe they'll make some sort of deal with the states and get some sort of tax break on helping to make sure the roads are painted right, the signs are in the correct height and in the correct positions. All right, we have 3.3 miles for the George Washington Bridge. So far, this ride is completely smooth, and for the last 8 minutes, I haven't touched the brake at all. I have touched the gas, but as you guys can tell, the gas only means that you're going a little faster. So if the car can handle that, I think that's a positive. All right, now we're going through the Easy Pass Express. I'm really glad it didn't pick the Easy Pass lanes over there. Do I have to hold up an Easy Pass or does it just know it's in the car? What do you guys think? Anybody want to mention that in the comments? Let me know. All right, George Washington Bridge, 2.4 miles. You can see the Tesla performs fine with big trucks on the road, with anything passing us or going around us. We're going 55 in a 55. I'm changing the max speed to 60. I don't want to go too slow where I am. We're in New Jersey and the highways are wide here. Plenty of room to go a little faster. You'll see all the information is here. 10:14 is our arrival. It's 20 minutes away, 14 miles away, and I'll be arriving with 54% battery. My son has this awesome snake. We named it Exter, and Exeter has been in a tank on the floor, so this is the only PetSmart that actually had the dresser that me and my wife liked. It's like a dark walnut with a lot of cabinet space. It'll go right across from my fish tank in the dining room, so we wanted it to match in a way, so it looks nice. So I'm excited to get this tank off the floor so that things look like that they're put back in order. I'll try to make a video on what it looks like when it's done, but that's not going to be tonight. I figured tonight I'll make the video of coming back from New Jersey. I finally figured out how to keep the camera from shaking so much. We got a really awesome triple suction cup device tripod that's called the Gecko, and it suction cups to the roof of the Tesla and is holding the phone really stable without bouncing. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Sometimes you got to spend a little money to do things right. Right. 500 feet away, George Washington Bridge. Now 1.4 miles to Fort Lee. So I didn't know where I was going. I put the directions in for full self-driving. I mean, I like Waze because Waze gives a lot of info. And it makes a lot of sense to me when I read it. The Tesla seems to give me better directions, as in like on screen, but not better directions in words. Some of that has been a little vague. And when I let the car just do its full self-driving, I mean, it knew exactly where to go. And there was a couple times that I didn't know whether it should go in the left exit or the right exit because it was telling us about the street it was going to make a right-hand turn at after. So I didn't get lost. It brought me to right where I needed to be, and that's pretty awesome, although I had to have a lot of faith in the software. But I guess if I own this car and I'm doing some videos with full self-driving, I must have faith in it. I don't think it's going to make us look too stupid, and when it makes a mistake, this is all a learning experience. I just think that everybody should kind of know what they're getting themselves into before they start using full self-driving. And it's a learning experience. So at the beginning of you using it is when you're going to make the most mistakes. So check out these videos and try to make less mistakes. I have a truck trying to pass me on the right. He is going bananas. So I moved up the max speed to 65. I rolled it down one now to 64. So at least we're not going more than 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. Looks like I left him a bit back there. I'm catching up to the people in front of me. And you see this bar up here? This is the electricity we use in the ride. So right now, anytime it's a white line, you know that we're giving it power. When it comes back to this side and it's green, that's the regenerative braking through the dual motors. Now that's probably one of the coolest things about a Tesla for an EV is its regenerative braking. And boy, is it good. I've never seen, there we go. That's all regenerative braking. And it's because it wants to do a lane change, so it's slowed down a bit. All right. I haven't seen the Tesla gain power from regenerative braking, as in like I have not seen it go up a percentage, but I have definitely noticed it will last a lot longer the more that you're cautious about flooring the pedal. But if you drive a decent speed and you let go on your big turns instead of driving through your big turns, especially on some downhills, it regenerative brakes so much that I've definitely noticed that the percentage of battery power lasts a lot longer. All right, we're coming up to a couple of trucks here. I'm always curious to see what happens with the Tesla when We come up to a car or a truck. It says confirm lane change. All right, and a little weird. It wants to pass on the right. I'm going to give it gas. So we just get this done with. All right. I gave it some power. I think I said gas. It's obviously not gas. Gave it some power to push through that. Set us to a max speed of 60. And we're out of there. All right, I see George Washington Bridge up ahead, upper level, lower level. This said something about Fort Lee, so I'm thinking that it wants to go lower level. Now we're doing full self-driving and we're letting it go all the way, but if I put on the left blinker, watch how we go into the left lane. I can check my blind spots with plenty of time. It wants to go back into the right lane because that car was going a little slow. I wanted to do that. All right, back into the right lane. It really wants to go lower level, Fort Lee. I have it set at the max 60, but speed limit's 55. I'm going to scroll the real wheel down fast. You'll see it decrease by 5 miles an hour. This is a great feature. It's so easy, just by the quick turn of a thumb. Nice and slow, you go by 1 mile per hour at a time. Fast, you go by 5 miles at a time. 5 miles per hour. All right, so this guy just came in front of me. You'll notice the Tesla's trying to figure out if that was 1 lane or 2. It just went from 2 into 1. So now we're behind the cars in front of us. We've been driving for 17 minutes. We have 13 minutes left in the ride. So far, no interventions, and everything is going according to plan. Speed limit's 45 here. Let's see. Yeah, and it changed it. I love it when it does what it's supposed to do. I get a little disappointed when it doesn't, but that's okay. It's beta. All right, we got this car trying to get in front of me over here. He changed his mind. All right, we're going through another toll. Excellent. .4 miles. We'll be merging onto the Henry Hudson Parkway in the Bronx. Exit 1. New Jersey's pretty confusing place for a lot of New Yorkers. We get a little confused. Oh, there's yellow lights right there. Interesting, the Tesla took that as caution and slowed down, even though they weren't really for us. Kind of looked like that they were for everybody, but I have a feeling it was really just for the right side. But that's great. It didn't come to a stop. It slowed down into the top 30 mile per hours, and we're moving again at a regular speed of 45. Yeah, New Jersey's a little confusing. A lot of the exits right over the bridge. I don't think I'm the only one that has that problem. This Tesla definitely made it easier today. Ends or butts. It knew right where we were going, and I didn't have to question it. All right. It's asking me to confirm a lane change. Oh, we have a car coming. Right when it was going to do a lane change, car coming, it came up red. The dotted line came up red. It held back. All right. We're in the left lane. Just moved up the max speed to 50. But it looks like it sees those yellow lights up there. It most likely will slow down again. I don't see anybody behind me. Let's see what happens. See if we see them on the screen. I mean, it's good for a merge. It should slow down in areas like that. All right. Just changed to 30 miles an hour. It wants to do a lane change, even though this is solid. Let's see. All right. This is going to be a little complicated here. The exits get all mumbled jumbled, and I think we can go all the way left or all the way right. So let's see. Nobody's behind us. We're going 25 miles an hour. 30 is what we're looking for. Okay. And we got the Henry Hudson Parkway north to the left. We also got it to the right. Where are we going to go? All right. And once it go to the left, that's correct. Oh, we had to interfere right there. I had to take control. It second guessed itself. And we were looking to make this left. If you go all the way to the right, the highway goes right into itself. If you go all the way to the left here, this is a different route. We'll turn back on the full self-driving right here at this red light. We should stay put. I knew that was a little complicated, and it made the lane change and then second guessed and came out of the lane that it was correct in. So that's a little sad, but okay. One intervention at 21 minutes into our drive. We just took an off exit, coming back onto the Henry Hudson going north. Nobody's behind us, but we could speed up a touch. I just brought the max up to 30 miles per hour, even though we have a city speed limit 25. The high beams came on because it's a little dark over here. All right. We're on the highway entrance. She should put on her left blinker right now. Let's see. All right, 40 miles an hour on the exit, ready to make a lane change. Wants to confirm the middle lane. Somebody's coming first, so it's going to wait. Once they pass by, they won't be red anymore. Lane change is made, no problems. All right, it looks like we have 8 minutes left. Let's see how we do for the last 8 minutes. We got some nice turns up here. I've already gone through this with the full self-driving. It does a really good job. That's it telling me to put some more pressure on the wheel. These are all indications to let you know that I'm definitely driving in full self-driving. The blue line is confirmation of that, and so is the blue steering wheel up here. Now remember, in order to do full self-driving, you have to have a place in your navigation set, and then you have to press the little square that has the picture of the steering wheel and the lane. All right, speed limit's 45. I'm going to move it up to 50. We have a long straightaway ahead of us. It's good to follow the rules, but we all know humans usually go a little faster than the speed limit, so I want to show that the Tesla is totally capable of doing that when needed. I could even move it up to 55 right now, and then I'll bring it down 1 mile an hour to 54. I feel like that's a little bit safer than going a whole 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. High beams just came on because nobody's around, although there's plenty of lights on around here. I notice it definitely does it when there's nobody around the most. All right, this is just a straight drive-through, toll. Last one. All right, and we just entered the, well, that was Manhattan, going into the Bronx. Now we're definitely in the Bronx. Pull down max speed to 50. A little over 25 minutes into the drive. We had one hiccup where it got real complicated. I could have helped it out and put on the blinker for it, but I really wanted to see what it did. And I think it did a pretty good job. You know, it made sure it kept me safe. That's what it really did. You could always still get to your destination. It might take a little longer, but to get there safe is what matters. There's a stop sign over here on the entrance getting on the highway. I know that the full self-driving really likes to check that out and feels like it should stop. It's over here, even though we're on the highway. I'm going to give it a little gas. Make sure that it knows that I'm okay with going through that. And that's just what you got to do when you start to figure out things in your neighborhood. After a while, Tesla will fix that, and when it gets fixed, you'll go and buy more shares because you'll know that the software is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Tesla stock moved up pretty well today, even on some bad news. Had protests in China. I guess now that they're lowering the prices, a lot of people are complaining that they just bought their Teslas at higher prices. You know, I bought it before the final price hike, so now it's back down into my price range. But I mean, I don't know what to say. If you got gas today and gas prices go up tomorrow or go down tomorrow, do you go back tomorrow and ask for your money back, or do you give them back extra money and say, sorry, the price was different? Where's the limit? Last week, last month? All right, this is a pretty important exit. It's the last exit right here on the way home. It's a really sharp right exit, and the Tesla seems to make this great every time. All right, I want to go to the right this time. I hope it does. Sometimes we can go to the left, but the right it is. Fantastic. Full stop at that stop sign. Creep forward. We could have went through it a little faster, but I didn't see anybody getting off the exit with us. All right. Another stop sign. All right. Now the car's pulled me into this left lane before. I like to stay in the right lane. It's made that mistake twice recently, and this time it kept me in the right lane. That's amazing. I'm not sure if it's learning from my drive, but the more I drive in my neighborhood, it seems to make some of the mistakes it's made over and over, it starts to correct them. I've noticed. So it went into this lane twice recently and not anymore. So let's see if it continues to take this right-hand lane on the next few drives. And then I'll feel a little bit more certain. But if it goes back into that left-only lane, I'm going to say, you know what? It's just like rolling dice. All right. Full stop at the stop sign. There's a car getting off the highway here. The Tesla made its decision fairly fast. All right, now we have a slowdown light over here. We should slow down to 17 miles an hour, you'll see. You know what? It doesn't really slow down there the way it does with the speed bump. The speed bumps, it slows down to 17. 16, 17. That yellow light, sometimes I feel like I feel the regenerative braking kick in a little bit. But I'm not sure why it doesn't slow down a little bit more at that one. Right up ahead, we have a nice left-hand turn. Every time I take this turn, the car does it flawlessly, but it takes the turn very wide, because you'll notice 3 stanchions to the left with a big notched out corner for no driving. So it's an interesting turn. You'll see right here. I'll let go of the wheel for a moment. I never do that really. I'm guarding it with my hands. Nice and wide, and then it comes in nice and tight because of those parked cars. We have another speed bump here. Usually we slow down again to 17. Bam. Huh. It'd been doing 17 for the last couple weeks. It looks like now it's slowing down to 16 miles an hour the last 2 speed bumps back there. That's great. All right, this is a funny cross over here. Intersection, you can see how it's shaped. Creeped right through it. Made the decision. Speed bump, 17 miles an hour. Now, there's one speed bump up here that every single time we go a little fast over it. And it has a sign that just like all the rest of them. So it seems to be doing something a little slower at those. Let's see if it picks up on this speed bump today. Autopilot checking for visibility. I have a feeling it's going to speed up right here. Let's see. Speed bump, 20 miles an hour. See? Oh, we were going 21, 22. It's not a full 25, but I don't understand. How come it can't recognize that speed bump? The sign is at like the same height as all the rest. Just very interesting. Just interesting to point out. All right. We're on the block. As always, I'm going to brake the full self-driving by touching the brake lightly. We're out of full self-driving. I'm going to continue driving forward. And I'm going to pull over to turn off the camera. You know, if you hung out with me for the drive, that was awesome. If not, and you get to take a look at this on your own time, you can fast forward along, but really I just want everybody to see what full self-driving is all about. Come for the ride, check it out. We finished our trip. Says it took us 32 minutes. All right, and we're gonna park. So guys, leave some comments, say what's up. Tell me if these videos are coming out good. I hope that the camera's a lot less shaky. And until next time, I'll see you guys again.